Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us right here on Facebook Live. We're kicking off Fashion Week with Royal Vintage Shoes. We're going to be stepping back in time, bringing to life the 1920s, 30s, and 40s with some looks you probably haven't seen in a while. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're so glad to have you here with us live. We're going to be introducing you to At the Boardwalk first. That's the spring and summer collection for 2018. Then after that, we're going to be introducing you to Lauren and Abby, who are the designers, bringing it back with some of the shoes for the fall and winter collection. Spice it up, wrapping it all up with a live Q&A with Lauren and Abby. So please ask your questions right here in the comments below on Facebook Live. We'll be asking them right here at the end of the show. I think I've talked enough. Let's get to the fashion.
Gather up your best regalia. We're all strutting by azaleas. Party in that hot house round the block. Oh, shuffle on up for our greenhouse stomp. Yeah, there's dancers prancing by the peonies. Lola Lilac's getting boozy. Pansies posing with magnolia fox. Oh, we're all synced, tickled pink for our greenhouse stomp. Fern and berry, a crate hysteria by the lemongrass. Rose and dahlia filled with laughter, doing agapanthus dance. So grab a partner of your choosing. I'll be there with black-eyed Susan. For a Flora female, she's the top. Yes, get back, buttercup, grab a clover just for luck. We're all pining for our greenhouse stomp. Azaleas, party in that hot house around the block. Won't you shovel up for that greenhouse stomp? Yeah.
Well, we want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching. So we just saw At the Boardwalk. Right now we are joined by Lauren and Abby, the designers. Talk to us about the inspiration with the shoes we just saw.
Well, this season we wanted to do something really fun, inspired by the seaside. Spring and summer always brings up that kind of feel of warm weather and the beach and beach pajamas and big umbrellas and candy and cotton candy. So everything in the collection is we do a lot of two-tones, a lot of sandals, a lot of peep toes, but everything is very fun and flirty and bright colors. But we also mix some neutrals in there as well with Rita.
So the shoes I'm actually wearing are our Ritas, and they were with the last look as well that was candy colored. Those are really cool because Lauren actually bought those from a vintage shop, and we had them reproduced exactly as they were at our manufacturer. So they're a direct repro off the 1940s, and they literally have everything on them. They're everything 40s. They got the peep toe, they got the platform, we got the Cuban heel, we got the cutouts, we got the slingback.
You didn't leave anything out.
No, and they lace up. That's literally everything on a shoe we have in the Rita. So
There's no rhinestones.
no rhinestones, but they're super, but they're great and they're really unique and they look really good with pretty much anything and they're super comfy because I'm wearing them right now. And this is the first time I've actually worn these and they work great.
There you go.
And I dig them. The Hepburns though.
Oh, those Hepburns.
Oh.
So Abby says to me back when we were designing this collection, she's like, I want to do a golf shoe. I was like, a golf shoe? Ugh, fringe. I'm in love with them. Yeah. I'm so glad you like forced that one on me.
And they can take it off if they don't like it, but that kilty fringe bit,
It's fun.
that flappy bit, that's the... So
Right now the girls they're changing. They're getting into the fall and winter collection. Spice it up. Talk to us a little bit about what we can expect to see here on the runway.
Ooh, so this is your super sneak preview, guys. So those of you who are watching, members of the public and not store buyers, this is our fall line that's coming up. So fall 2018, and I know it's February and you're gonna have to wait till like September. But bear with us, so you're going to be excited. So the Spiced Up collection, the palette for this collection came from an original, it's about 1947 catalog page that had all these wonderful fabric swatches on it and these amazing colors like scarab green, aqua shadow aqua.
combining them together in different colors and different things, and so
How to wear your gloves with your hat, with your shoes, and the color palette. So we took that color palette and we developed our Spice It Up collection to go with it. So we have, beautiful suede and leather combination shoes, which is what I'm wearing, Greta. So you'll get a better look at those. Nice fall colors, so everything that you might see in the changing of the leaves, as well as a couple of boots that I think you guys are going to be really excited about. Yay! But you're going to have to stay tuned after we're done yapping up here to get a look at those new Spice It Up shoes.
Now, a lot of people have been commenting on Facebook Live. We have the feed right here.
Oh my gosh.
They absolutely love the clothes. For the 112 people we have watching right now, 115, thank you so much. Now, a lot of us talk about the clothes.
Yeah.
These are vintage shoes. I'm wearing a pair of the Marilyns right now with an outfit that I would actually wear every day.
And you just put them on too. So
I just put them on, and so a lot of people have been commenting, vintage shoes, they fall apart, they're not comfortable. These are comfortable, they fit well, they're sturdy. I think I could wear these all day at work and I'd be just fine.
Well, that's what we do. That's where we come from. Is you're right. Vintage shoes, you guys. Often, real vintage shoes, true vintage, are really, really small. They're not necessarily in good condition. The Rita sample that I bought was actually completely torn apart, and that's what we sent over to the factory to have reproduced. What we do is we take the historic shoes and we make them to fit our modern feet and lifestyle as well. But we keep the look, we keep true to the look. And the materials as well. So all of our shoes are real leather. They're lined in leather. We put street soles on, so the rubber soling, so you don't slip and crack your face on the sidewalk.
Well, that's good to know.
don't want to ruin that beautiful vintage look with a busted nose.
Do you guys have a favorite shoe in either one of the collections?
Collections?
My favorite from Boardwalk is definitely Ginger, the 1930s sandal. It comes in red and white and blue and white. And what I love about them is I haven't seen, they're so 1930s, you guys, so 1930s. But I haven't seen that before. Like, it's so vintage and so unique in the marketplace that I'm just in love with them. I keep looking at them like, oh, I want to put you on my feet. Yes, love them. What's your favorite?
That's actually really hard because obviously I was the proponent of the Hepburn golf shoe and that Oxford with the kilty fringe, and I love it. But doing the Ritas though, the Ritas are just
Smexy.
Yeah, they're just real smexy and they look really good, and I can't wait to wear them with my modern clothes as well as my vintage looks. And I'm wearing them now, so I am a little biased. So it's definitely between the Hepburns because I begged for them, and they're golf shoes and they're awesome, but also the probably the Ritas.
Yeah, and you didn't like slingbacks,
No.
But these slingbacks they're like a slingback Oxford. Yeah. So the strap stays on your foot. It comes up higher on the vamp, and the strap stays on your foot better. So those of you who are like, slingbacks, I don't know, give them a try because they are very secure. There's a little bit of elastic at the back that's going to help it kind of stretch to fit your shape. So I love the Rita. I'm so glad we added those.
Is there a reason you don't like the slingbacks?
Because they always fall off my feet. And I have a large foot. I wear a 9.5, and I just feel like sometimes slingbacks are not the best look for the girls with a larger foot. But like you said, since it has the Oxford and goes higher up the vamp of the foot, it does a really nice job making the larger foot look more petite and more delicate. So, and it is more secure, so that's why I'm just real picky about that stuff.
Now, since a lot of people are commenting on the clothes, the beautiful, beautiful dresses, where did they come from? People want to know.
We have a mix of true vintage and repro vintage today. We basically just raided our closets and Tina's closet. So we have to give a huge thank you to Tina Vines for lending us clothes for this. What Abby and I are wearing are true vintage. Where did you get yours?
I actually got mine at a vintage store in Louisville, Kentucky called Elizabeth's Timeless Attire. She was closing down her shop and she had this amazing sale, and I was like, yoink, this is mine. But she's doing like trunk shows and things like that too. She had great vintage there, great vintage stuff. So.
And I got my dress from Junkie literally last Saturday, and I repaired it and washed it and did all of that, and I absolutely love it. It is very new and quite old. Yes, so you're doing 50s and I'm doing 40s today. So yeah, so we have real 1930s dresses that the girls are wearing. Your grandmother's prom dress.
So the Polynesian floral dress that the leggy brunette wore, that one is actually really special to me because that's my grandmother's prom dress from the early 40s. She kept it all these years, and I even have the original pattern that it was made out of. And when we did the boardwalk, I just kept thinking to myself, like, oh, it's just so perfect with the primary colors. It's a real vintage piece. It was worn at the same time by an awesome young woman, and so it's really neat. And then I have another of my grandmother's dresses in the next look too. So before I get like emotional, yeah, it's my grandmother's.
Aside from those pieces, do you guys have a favorite piece of attire that you like to just wear daily? Well, I mean, you wouldn't wear it daily because that,
Grandpa sweaters and heavy scarves.
Most of what we wear day to day is still repro vintage or retro stuff. I wear a lot of wide leg trousers. My favorite brand for repro is Emmy Design Sweden. She makes the most amazing vintage sweaters and trousers that are just so comfortable, but they have the right cut, and I always feel really kind of comfy and at home, but also chic. I look nice without being too dressed up on a daily basis.
I would say so.
Thank you.
I love getting together with you guys and seeing what you always have to wear.
I wear a lot of dresses, whether I'm dressed in vintage clothes or if I'm going a little bit more modern. So knowing my body type, I am definitely more comfortable in the 50s and very early 60s vintage looks. So things like that. I just like wearing dresses, but yeah, anything with no pants. I don't like wearing pants.
Abby calls me the little old man of the office. I sport some suspenders and flat caps.
What's your favorite part of running this business together?
I just love Abby. I love Abby. I like feeling connected. I like connecting with our customers and our followers on Instagram and on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is our first fashion show. I am nervous. I'm trying not to lose my head.
It's a very different world from our little love seat in the showroom.
So I wanted to call out some of these comments. Rose commented and says that she loves her quote-unquote none-approved Claire Oxfords. She says, I wear them all day long walking on the streets of New York, and they are so comfortable. Greta said that Lauren did such a great job restoring the dress that she's wearing.
Thank you very much.
So this just goes to show you that people really do love these shoes. They love this look, and you can intermix it. You don't necessarily have to be finding something that you stop it. Thank you. Thank you. No,
it's true, and that's something we really go for is, yes, we're very vintage. We're like super vintage, but you don't have to be. I know that can be intimidating to some people. You don't have to go full crinoline and Rago waist cincher and curled hair every day. You can mix our shoes in for a little fun, a little vintage vibe if you kind of have that more cute look, the twee look, a little vintage vibe goes a long way. And we produce shoes for that too. So they're not just for vintage community, they're for everybody.
Now, Coco wrote in and asked, you just joined. Did you already show the models, the pictures already? So we showed the spring and the summer collection at the boardwalk. Pre-order. You can pre-order their shoes.
Yes, so the boardwalk shoes, just a note that this fashion show is going to stay on our timeline forever. So you can go back and watch it because it's recorded. The boardwalk collection that we just showed is open for pre-order, public pre-order right now. So you can go to our website, you get a nice $20 discount, yay. And all USA orders get the free shipping and the free exchanges as well. So you don't have to be terrified of ordering shoes online. If they don't fit, it's no problem at all. So the next collection then, and we're about ready to go on it, is fall 2018. So this coming fall is Spice It Up. We're really, really excited to show this to you guys. Happy days are here again.
Alrighty. Well, with that said, is there anything else you want to add about these new collections for 2018?
No, just so long as we're ready to go for Spice It Up. I think we're ready to get a little spicy with Dandy Wellington and his music and our girl.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it then.
Woo! Woo!
Gather up your best regalia. We're all strutting by azaleas. Party in that hot house round the block. Oh, shovel on up for our greenhouse stomp. Yeah, there's dancers prancing by the peonies. Lola Lilac's getting boozy. Pansies posing with magnolia fox. Oh, we're all synced, tickled pink for our greenhouse stomp. Fern and berry, a crate hysteria by the lemongrass. Rose and dahlia filled with laughter, doing agapanthus dance. So grab a partner of your choosing. I'll be there with black-eyed Susan. For a flora female, she's the top. Yes, get back, buttercup, grab a clover just for luck. We're all pining for our greenhouse stomp. azaleas. Party in that hot house.
Well, thank you to everyone. It's done. We did it. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Now we're going to do a Q&A with Lauren and Abby with your questions, so make sure you're typing them in the comments section on Facebook Live. I have my phone right here. But before we get to questions, I want to read probably my favorite comment that I've seen so far today. Sharon wrote in and said, I was wearing my Suzies when I went in for cataract surgery, and it blew the attendant nurses away. Totally told her where they came from.
Oh, Sharon, thank you. Thank you.
So now we've collected some of the questions throughout the show. Again, we're going to be following, so please ask your questions during this time. But somebody wants to know, how did you come up with the names for the shoes? Because each shoe has a different name.
That's true. Well, we stare at each other across our desk. No, that is true. So the shoes are very, they're emotive. They have to do with the time period. So often it's a movie star. It could be a place name.
Our grandmothers.
It could be, Nita was named after my grandmother. Alice is named after my husband's grandmother. Yeah, so it's kind of, we go through a lot of names, and usually a name will say, I wish to be assigned to this shoe. It will tell you when it wants to be that shoe, or the shoe will tell you what it wants its name to be. Maybe that's a better description. Yeah, so that's how.
There's we also have, with the golf shoe, we named it Hepburn after Katharine Hepburn because, what other woman looks so amazing in wide-legged trousers, and she's sporty, and she's just golfer, and she's empowering, and she's just such an inspiration to so many women that Hepburn just felt like a really good choice for that shoe. Where for Zella, that was actually named after my great-grandmother. That's just a real sexy name. It's a real fun name. It makes us think of evenings and parties and things like that. So an evening shoe named Zella just kind of flows really nicely. So.
And then of course for Trekkie, the Trekkie boots, the ones that were folded down, you guys, they were inspired by original 1940s ski boots. And we thought, well, we live in the Sierra Nevada and Trekkie's right up the road. So we thought, well, let's have a little hometown spice in there, a little Trekkie boot.
Spice it up. That's the name of the collection. And a lot of people are asking a lot of questions. When can they pre-order the fall shoes?
Oh, they're going to have to wait.
It's going to be September. Yeah. So that's kind of the difficult part about doing the fashion show live on Facebook is that because it's this collection, fashion industry is working on this timeline where we have to show the fall stuff now. And that's what we're taking to Magic, and we take to the trade shows. It seems so far away, but this is when stores need to start planning for their fall lines. So you guys get this super sneaky preview, but we're going to frustrate you because you're not going to be able to order them till about September this year. Whew.
But you can pre-order the spring-summer collection at the Boardwalk now over at royalvintageshoes.com.
Correct.
All right, we have another comment in here. Debbie's asking, how did you two meet? Love to see women empowering women. And I think that kind of plays into, how did Royal Vintage come about?
Oh, well, okay.
That's a two-parter answer to that.
Yeah, it's 2 questions.
Yeah.
Well, once upon a time, Abby and I had blogs. We met on the internet.
Have them.
Yeah. We were historic costume bloggers, she on the other side of the country than me, and we became friends through that community doing historic dress from the 18th and 19th centuries. The vintage stuff is more like our everyday clothes, and so it just seemed like a natural kind of fit with the vintage shoes. We also do historic shoes, the old, really, really old stuff under the American Duchess brand. And then it was sort of like, well, why don't we do 1920s, 30s, and 40s? That makes sense. I have a hard time finding shoes that fit. You have a hard time with your 9.5 foot that you want to wear that aren't too kitschy or that are nice materials or that are well made and comfortable. So it was a natural fit. But yeah, Abby and I have been friends now for quite some time. Yeah.
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
It's almost 10 years. Yeah.
You've been working for me since 2016.
It's been a year and a half. Yeah. I've been working for you for a year and a half, which is bananas. I don't know where that year and a half went.
Time flies.
Woo!
Now, Rena's writing in and talking about her inspiration for gathering vintage clothing. Where do you get your inspiration from to create these shoes?
To create the shoes or the clothes?
For the shoes.
Okay.
Anywhere and everywhere. We have original catalogs, we have original magazines. My mother loves to go antiquing for us, and she finds the most amazing. She found an entire Sears Roebuck catalog, cover to cover, from like 39 to 40, and she got it for a steal of a deal, brought it in, and so we've been like just drooling over that, getting inspiration. We go on Pinterest. We also have our own archive as well, so we buy vintage shoes.
I have an eBay and Etsy problem.
And so
Most people out there can probably relate.
So, that really worn out vintage shoe that no one can actually wear, but it looks like it was really cool back in the day, those are the shoes that we actually really love, because we can look at them, get our inspiration from them, take the design from them, and then copy them in today. And so they almost have they've been reborn again into modern shoes.
And not every shoe is a direct copy. Some of them are direct repros. Some of them are sort of a conglomeration of the hallmarks of a certain style that come together to create it's our own design, but it's a very 1930s appropriate shoe that could have existed at the time period. So there's some creativity in there, there's some reproduction in there, but I don't want to make it sound like what we do is like, oh, I'm just going to copy this. There's a lot that goes into taking a size 4 teeny tiny AAA with shoe and creating something that meets expectation for fit and comfort and usability today.
Now, playing off what you said about your Etsy and eBay problem, Laura Del wrote and said, I like knowing I can pre-order the fall collection in September. It gives me time to save up so that I can buy more shoes.
Yay! That's what we want to hear.
Thank you.
Now, somebody's asking, Kathleen, will you be writing more books? Want to talk a little bit?
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. You guys, do you make any of your own clothes?
Yeah, we make a lot of our own clothes. Several of the dresses that were on the runway today, I made. And did you have anything that you made?
One of mine, the last look with the black silk taffeta evening dress. I made that one for myself. Yeah.
And it's kind of like the shoes. I'm not particularly petite like Tina. And so finding real vintage clothing, I'm also very long-waisted. Finding real vintage clothing that fits me, hi Tina, is a challenge. So I will collect vintage patterns and use those and make my own dresses, again inspired by what I find in museums or on Pinterest or in old catalogs, and try and get the look. But I have to say that there's nothing really quite like real vintage. I mean, this dress has shoulder pads in it that you could slap somebody in the face with one of these and bam! Really hurt them, and I love it, and I would never think to put these in my own dress because I'm kind of shoulder pad averse, but in this I'm like, this looks great, yeah, bam, yeah.
I like it. I think what's really neat too about both of you and the business that you're running is it's really inspiring to other people to get out there and find something that they love and try to capitalize on it. You sew some of your own clothes, and that's going back to the book. That's what you're doing, is empowering people to also sew their own gowns, which is really cool. And one more question, we will take it. Let's see, who are we going to pick? How about Sue? What have you learned through your experience of designing vintage shoes?
Oh, what have you learned, Lauren? Oh, what a huge question, Sue. I've learned that, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, that there are challenges you never expect to pop up. Feet are weird. Feet are difficult to fit. Everybody, it's like your fingerprint. Everybody's foot's a little bit different. So finding a design that's going to work in the vintage look, getting the silhouette correct, especially when you have challenges, like with the older shoes, when you have challenges with no-toe boxes and interesting silhouettes from construction that we can't do today, I still have to try and make that look correct. At the same time, it has to be comfortable. At the same time, it has to, stand up to heavy wear and tear of our daily lives today. So those are real challenges that have, oh my gosh, I've been doing this now for 8 years. I had no experience at all when I started, and now I feel like I can accurately say, yes, I'm a shoe designer, because I understand kind of the mechanics of it.
I just go, that's not pretty, or that's really pretty. Can we have French? But yeah, basically I think the biggest thing is it's not easy to design shoes, and everyone's foot is different. And the more we work with shoes, and this is from my experience, especially since I've been working for you for a year and a half, and I love shoes. I loved buying shoes. I loved wearing shoes. I never wanted to make shoes because I know it's difficult, but really learning that there are so many quirks with your feet and how things fit and how this works and how that is. It is just, it's totally different. I view shoe shopping now in a completely different way than I ever used to. And just trying to get that out there to people.
On the business side of it, I'm going to inspire you guys. On the business side of it, I started this company with $250. That's it. That's all I had. Our electricity was being turned off and the whole thing. So what I want to say is that what we make is very, very unique and very specific and strange. And you might think that that is, how could you possibly sell enough to support yourself, But the world's a really big place. And thanks to the internet, we all have communities that we have access to now. And that's enabled small makers and unique designers like us to create a product and distribute it enough to support 3.5 people, three employees and a part-time.
She's not actually cut in half. Part-time.
She's a part-time worker. And we're expanding too. And it's because our customer base is so helpful in the feedback that you guys give us, letting us know what you want, letting us know what you don't like. Yeah. I mean, it is amazing to be plugged in and connected to you guys in that way because it's a very personal business for us. You are our friends and we want to make you happy. So we make beautiful shoes for you. So yes, if you have a business idea, you might think it's a little weird, but try it. You have more tools now than you've ever had before. You have Etsy and Shopify and Facebook and Instagram to build a unique business on. And so try it and you will be amazed at how far you can get. I mean, 8 years later, here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
It's our first fashion show.
Well, with that, you guys have a couple exciting things going on this month. You're going to be in Magic in Las Vegas next week.
We leave on Sunday, and it's our first Magic showing our collection, and we're really excited. So if you are watching this and you're coming to Magic, come by and say hi. We would love to meet you. We'll be the girls in the vintage clothes, being goofy. And what's our booth number? I don't remember our booth number.
And I forgot it, and my paper's right over there next to that water bottle.
81324?
It's something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
81324. 81324. Yes, come and lay your hands on our shoes. They are really great in person, beautiful materials, really cool feel. Try them on if you happen to be a 7.5.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you there. So those are store buyers and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I want to say some thank yous. We have so many people.
We do thank yous. New York.
At the end of the month.
New York. So the other thing that we're doing, because February wasn't busy enough, is we're really excited about this. We're going to New York to do a lecture on 18th century women's dress at the National Arts Club in New York City, and it's their Fashion Talk Fridays. We have events on our Facebook, and their Facebook page as well has the event listed. It's that Friday, the 24th or the 23rd. One of those days, but it's a Friday. And we'll be getting dressed in 18th century clothes and talking about them and doing a book signing as well. So we're really excited about that. But yeah, thank yous. Holy Moses, guys. So many thank yous.
First off, we have to thank all the models, Argentum, who Alex is a part of, and Orange Tree Productions for putting this on. There's a lot of moving parts here, and it all came together really well. Also, Dandy Wellington,
yes.
# Dandy Wellington, for the use of his music. That was Greenhouse Stomp and Honeydew. Fabulous musician. Follow him on Instagram @ Dandy Wellington. We need to thank Tina.
We need to thank Tina. Tina Vines, I'm gonna cry, was such a lifesaver. She came in, she brought her clothes, she walked for us. She is one of our dearest friends here in Reno. Her Etsy shop is actually Vines of the West. She does beautiful country western chain stitch on vintage original machines, beautiful work, and she is amazing to work with. We also want to thank Liza, I'm going to butcher your last name, McIlwee. She came in also at the last minute to help with this, and she is awesome. She's modeled for us before, so you probably know her face. We also want to say a huge thank you to Nellie and Tyler and Chrissy at Outsiders Hair Salon for doing amazing hair on our girls and our models and fixing my hot mess on my head. You guys are awesome. You're so talented, and thank you so much for coming out here and at 7 a.m. in the morning and doing this. You guys are the coolest women. And thank you to Alisha and what's her oh gosh, Alisha.
The mermaid.
Ariel? Do you mean what?
Alisha Mermaid something.
It's a Mermaid Perry is her Instagram.
Mermaid Perry.
Perry.
At Mermaid Perry.
I see Alisha and I was like, what's her oh gosh, her friend. She was beautiful. Where is she? I'm looking for her. I cannot find her. But Alisha, yeah, for doing the makeup and doing a great job. You women are awesome, and it's so amazing to see what an awesome community that just came together really quickly here in Reno, and women businesses, and just thank you so much.
And of course, all of our beautiful models. You guys, fantastic. We're so happy. Thank you, models. Can we have all the models come up here? Everybody who's live, come on up. Yay! Yay! Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for watching. That was Royal Vintage's online live virtual fashion show, Vintage Fashion Week.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap. Make sure you get those pre-orders with the At the Boardwalk collection now online. But for the fall, you're gonna have to wait until September.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll let you know.
Yeah. All right, shall we go dance?
Let's do it.
Boogie.
Do we have music to dance to?
Yes, we do.